Very good morning, students. How are you all? Yes, this is your English teacher. In the last class itself, I have told you that today we are going to start our next prose in Unit 3 in celebration of being alive, written by Dr. Christian Bernard. Dr. Christian Bernard. Before that, let us discuss about in the previous class. Let us discuss the previous class. In the previous class, I told the story of life of Pi, and also I have given the beautiful description of the lifeboat and the days how long he was voyaging with the tiger Richard Parker in the sea, and how did he survived and how did he manage for everything, and at last he landed the tiger in the jungle, and as rescued by another boat and reunited with his family members. And after the completion of the second supplementary, uh, we are now stepping forward into the third prose. The name of the prose is In Celebration of Being Alive. Right? In celebration of being alive. Being alive, which was written by Dr. Christian Bernard. Dr. Christian Bernard, yes. Nard. Dr. Christian Bernard. Okay. Before we start the prose, let us discuss about the author's biography. Clear? We can see about the author's biography. If you have your prescript text, you can turn to page number 69. There you can have the author's biography. Okay? Author's biography. Biography of the author. Page number 69 in your text. Okay, listen. His full name Christian Neethling Bernard. Okay, Christian Neethling Bernard was born in rural South Africa in 1922. Okay, so he was born in South Africa. Born in 1922, where? South Africa. Okay, he was born in 1922. There, that is a rural of South Africa. Okay, rural, you know that village area in our country. Yes, his parents were poor parents. Okay, his parents were poor parents, and he was the fourth child. He was the fourth child to the parents, and he evinced great interest in his academics and was determined to pursue medicine. See, from his childhood onwards, he was very good in his education, and he developed his knowledge in his subject, and in future he wants to study medicine, that is doctorate. Okay, MBBS. What was his ambition when he was studying in his childhood age? He wants to become a doctor. Why he has selected a medicine to be studied? Because his brother, okay, one of his brother who died by cardiac arrest, heart attack. Clear? So already I told you he was the fourth child to his parents. Okay, so one of the children who died because of cardiac arrest. Cardiac arrest, you know very well, that is heart attack. So that he wants to study cardiac, that is medicine, how to rescue people from the heart attack or cardiac arrest. and he studied, okay, and he won many scholarships and pursued his higher studies specializing in cardiac surgery. Understand? So he studied what? Studied cardiac surgery. What he had studied? Yes, he had studied cardiac surgery. Cardiac surgery, you know very well that giving treatment for heart attack patients. Yes. As a cardiac surgeon, Bernard focused on congenital and complicated cardiac conditions. A very, very important point you have to write in this introduction. While you are writing your essays or paragraph, you have to write, compulsory you have to write this point. What's it? Focused on where CONGENITAL, okay, congenital and complicated congenital and excuse me, complicated cardiac conditions. See, focused on congenital. Congenital, you know that by from our birth, okay, a child which has some defects in its birth itself, in its birth itself, and complicated, which was very difficult, So these are the area he has focused in his study. See, after experimenting with the heart transplantation on animals, listen, heart transplantation, that is you know very well, that is a changing or donating a person's heart to another person. Human to human heart transplantation. Clear? Human to human. But in the beginning he had tested what? Heart transplantation on animals. He performed the world first human to human heart transplant. This is very, very important point. Still now he was remarkably noted that he was the first doctor. Okay, just underline, he was the first doctor. World first doctor. Yes. World's first doctor in what? In what? Yes. Human to human. Human to human. Human to human heart transplant. So listen, in which year he had done? In 1967. Clear? This is very, very important. See, he was born in the year 1922 and he had studied cardiac surgery. I told you what's the reason for it. Because one of his brothers who was died because of heart arrest. Okay, so that he wanted to study cardiac surgery. Okay, in cardiac surgery, in which area he has focused? He has focused on congenital and complicated cardiac conditions. So what you mean congenital is nothing but from the birth itself. Okay, from the birth itself. Yeah, otherwise we can call by genetical problems, from the birth or genetical problems, or complicated cardiac conditions, which was very difficult to be recovered. So these are the area he has focused, and because of this study and experimental patients or experience he has done, and he had become the world first doctor who had done human to human heart transplant in 1967. Okay, he was the first doctor in the world. Clear? And listen, another important point that Bernard has penned 14 books and 235 scientific articles. How many books he had written? He had written how many books? Yes, 14 books. 14 books and how many articles? 235 scientific articles. SCINTIFIC. Scientific articles he had published. And some of his books are, that is here I am going to just write the important text of Dr. Christian Bernard, that is One Life, and 50 Ways to Healthy Heart, 50 Ways to a Healthy Heart. And another thing, that the best medicine. The best medicine. And the fourth work, the faith. These are all the important works, important books which were written by Dr. Christian Bernard. What are they? One Life, 50 Ways to a Healthy Heart, The Best Medicine, The Faith. These are the important works written by Dr. Christian Bernard. And he was awarded as a pioneer in cardiac surgery. He obtained a doctorate in medicine from the University of Cape Town. This was followed by 11 honorary doctorates. Listen, this is very, very, very important point. He was given doctorate in medicine. He was given, or he was awarded doctorate in medicine. That is a doctorate in medicine from Cape Town University. Cape Town University. Cape Town. You just underline the word in your textbook. And followed by 11 honorary doctorates bestowed upon him by universities all over the world. Okay. At first, Cape Town University awarded doctorate in medicine, followed by how many doctorate awards? He was given 11, that's 12 honorary doctorates. How many doctorates was awarded him? He was awarded 12 plus 1, sir, 11 plus 1, 12 awards. And 36 international awards. How many international awards? 36. So doctorate, how many? 12 doctorates. 12 doctorates and 36 international awards. In these late years, he established the Christian Bernard Foundation to serve and promote the cause of underprivileged children throughout the world, and died at the age of 78 in the year 2001. So, these are all the short biography, and a very, very important point that as a doctor, he served the society. Okay, as a doctor, he served the society, he served the world, and also he had opened a trust. What's the name of the trust? The Christian, yes, CHRISTIAN, the Christian Bernard Foundation. The Christian Bernard Foundation. For what purpose? To serve the unprivileged children, that is the poor children. To serve the poor children, he had opened a trust. What's the name of the trust? The Christian Bernard Foundation. Okay, and he died at the age of 78. Died at the age of 78 in 2001. Okay, so in 2001 he left the world. See, listen, already we are very much aware of the disease nowadays. Clear? Yes, we are very much aware of the disease. And who fights against the disease nowadays? Yes, absolutely the doctors. Yes, the doctors are the heroes today. The sisters, nurses, the servants, the field workers, those who are ready to sacrifice their life to save our life. Clear? This is very important point. So that's why we are believing doctors. That's why we are believing doctors. We know that being a doctor, that is the great profession in the world, because they are saving one's life. One's life. See, if you want to become a doctor, you must have some courage in your mind. I want to become a doctor, like that. But behind the courage, there must be a reason. Behind the courage, there must be a reason. Yes, in Dr. Christian case, he had this courage. He wants to become a doctor. But what's the reason behind it? His brother's death. Yes, his brother died because of a cardiac arrest. So that he wanted to study doctrine, and he studied cardiac surgery, and he became the world #1 doctor, and he was the first doctor who had done heart transplantation, that is a human to human heart transplantation. Before that he had done it on animals, and after the successful result, he had done it on a human being in 1967. And how many great books he had written? He had written 14 books, and he had written 235 scientific articles. And also among the 14 books, we were given 4 important works written by Christian Barnard. What were they? One Life, 50 Ways to a Healthy Heart, The Best Medicine, The Faith. These are the important works, text, which were written by Dr. Christian Barnard. And this is very important, he was awarded 12 honorary doctorates. Okay, already he received in his education, but giving honorary doctorates, how many? 12 doctorates. But from the beginning, the University of Cape Town, CAPETOW in Cape Town, who had awarded him the honorary doctorate, the first. After that, 11 doctorates was 11 doctorates have been awarded, and 36 international awards also awarded him. And before his death, he had opened a trust in his name. What's the name of the trust? The Christian Barnard Foundation. For whom? He had opened the trust to serve the poor children, those who are suffering, and those who are a poor condition, to get their education, and also to serve the patient, those who are suffering by cardiac arrest. And also, after this successful life career, he left the world at the age of 78 in the year 2001. These are all the important points about Dr. Christian Barnard, that is in his biography. Okay, and let us, if you have any doubt in this area, do you have any doubt in this area? That is a biography of the author. If you have any doubt, kindly note down your doubts, and the next class or tomorrow, before you start your 1 mark test, you can clear your doubts. And now we move to the title. What's the title? Yes, in celebration of being alive. This is very important. What's it? In celebration of being alive. The title itself, the writer clearly focused on the importance of living alive. The importance of living alive. How do we live? We have to celebrate our life, because still we are living. Just imagine this pandemic situation. Just imagine this pandemic situation. Even today we do not know. So yesterday night, yesterday night, 2 kilometers nearby our village, death happens due to corona, and today their family all are in quarantine. Okay, so that we people are in a kind of fear. We do not go out. Okay, we do not go out. So as it's told you that you people are also safe at home, don't go away, and be safe at home. Why? Because we have to celebrate our life. This is the life, this is the birth which is given by the God. Yes, of course we have to thank our parents, but we have to thank the God first, because till date we are living. Till date we are living. That is what we have to celebrate, our living. Living, that is, there are some difference. Some people are living, but they are not helping the society, they are not helping others, they are thinking about their life only. We don't speak about them. Whereas in case our in this our in our education, in our study, we should deal about our life first. Yes, what do you mean by life? Yeah, very good. What do you mean life? Yes, exact answer you are given. You have given. Yes, from the birth to death, the travel. Okay, the travel between birth to death. That is what life. That is what life. But in this period, in this duration, how do we live our life? Yes, we have come to the world with the with the blessings of God. We have come to the world, and still we are in our travel. Still we are in our travel. What is happening? Yes, you know, everything is happening. Nowadays we can't imagine anything what will be happening the next, because the world nowadays like that, too mechanical, too clinical, like that. And among this kind of a struggleness, how do we celebrate our life? See the title, in celebration of being alive. See, we have to live in the celebration that still we are living. That's the meaning of the title. Clear? Good. So we have to celebrate our life. For what purpose? Still we are being alive. Still we are being alive. For that purpose we have to celebrate. Why do we celebrate? Because nowadays the doctor clearly said that in his concluding point. Yes, what he has told, nowadays, okay, nowadays per second or per minute, so many kids, okay, so many kids are entering into the world, and so many deaths happen. And in this essay, in this paragraph, in this prose, the author clearly gives a strategic, okay, clearly gives a strategic that, see, in the last paragraph, okay, the last point, that is very, very, very important point. Before I start that, we have to speak this thing. Then only you can understand what we are going to study in this prose. Yes, what is given? Yes, which one is very, very important to us? Which one is very, very important to us? The children show me that it is not what you have lost that is important. What is important is what you have left to the world. The line is there in page number 69, 13th paragraph, last line. Okay, it is not what you have lost that is important. What is not an important thing? What you have lost, okay, that is not an important one. The writer, the author, the doctor says that what you have lost, that is not important. Then which one is important? What have you left to the world? What did you leave, or what have you left to the world? That is very, very important. What are you giving to the world? That is important. What is not important, which you are getting from the world, or which you have lost, that is not important. Which is very, very important? the thing which you are going to donate to the society. That is very, very important. Yes, see, here in his biography at the end, we have clearly noted that he had opened a trust. What's the name of the trust? The Christian Bernard Foundation. Okay, so before he left the world, he has donated his service to the world. This is very, very important. So that till now we are speaking about that kind of personalities. Till now we are speaking Karmavira Kamarajar. Till now we are speaking Mother Teresa. Why? Because they had given so many things to the world. So that still now they are living. Clear? This is what the point. Got it? And we have to celebrate our life. We have to thank the God. We have to thank our parents. And we have to celebrate our life. Which means the importance of being alive. The importance of being alive. Okay. See, listen. Before I start the prose, let me speak few points regarding some other personalities in the world. Yes, in this world we have noted that, and we have seen that there are several physically challenged personalities in this world. Am I right, students? Yes, physically challenged people, and still now they are successfully running their life. Clear? They are successfully running their life. How is it possible? See, we people are not physically challenged, but we have our physique in good. But are we living our life in a successful manner? Every day we are getting struggling. Every day we are surviving. Okay. See, just imagine for ourselves living life that is a huge one. Just imagine the physically challenged personalities. Okay, how they are living. That is the difference between the human beings. And they are living their life become meaningful. Clear? They are living their life become meaningful one. Are we living our life in a meaningful one? Yes, very good. We are living our life in a meaningful one, but we have some struggles. But whenever we have some struggles, we have to think the physically challenged personalities. They are challenging the life. Clear? They are challenging the life. And they are having so many odds. ODDS odds, yes, difficulties. And still they are achieving. Still they are achieving. Just imagine ourselves. If you close your eyes, if you are supposed to close your eyes and walk 10 feet, is it possible? Even if it is your own home. Even if it is your own home. Just imagine the life of blind people. So many struggles they are having, but still they are living their life in a meaningful one. And they do some many achievements also. So what are we doing? What are we doing? And the next thing that, very, very important, while we are living our life, we are facing so many experiences. That experience may be good or bitter, or better or bitter. Better, yes, good experience. Bitter, there we have some painful or sorrowful. Okay, every day we are having so many bitter experience and better experiences. If it is a better experience, what do we have? We will be having happiness. Yes, today I have a great day. Yes, I received money. Many gifts. I have so many happiness today. Whenever you have a better experience, you have happiness. But if you have a bitter, that is a bad experience, so you will be in suffering. You will be in suffering. So, a kind of suffering experience that gives the life meaningful. That gives the life become a meaningful one. Whenever we are suffering, then only we know what is life. Then only we know what is life. Regarding that, I do not advise you try to suffer. Not like that. See, when suffering comes, just accept it and experience it and come over from this Suffering. Okay, this is all about the story, the prose. Okay, see here, the author has written 13 paragraphs. How many paragraphs? Yes, 13 paragraphs he has written. All those 13 paragraphs are in first person narration. First person narration in the sense that the doctor himself speaks. The doctor himself speaks. And it is an speech. Sorry, it is a speech given by Dr. Christian Bernard. Okay. Yes, Dr. Christian Bernard was the first doctor to perform a heart transplant surgery. Here we have an extract of his speech where he narrates an experience which has changed his perspective of life altogether. See, perspective of life, the think of life, the thought of life, the viewpoint of life. That is what a perspective. Perspective means what? Yes, the viewpoint. How do we think our life? How do we deal our life? Or what do you mean about life? That is what perspective. So after some bitter experience, he came to know which is the what is the beautiful life, and he thinks himself that life should be enjoyed each and every moment, even though we have some struggling, we have some suffering. Clear? Yes, this is a speech. It was a speech uttered by Dr. Christian Bernard. Among the in the speech, some few important points were extracted and given as a prescribed text for you. Okay. And how many paragraphs here? Yes, I told you 13 paragraphs, and I told you the title and I explained it, and I dealt the central theme of this prose. The central theme of this prose. Yes, what we have seen today, we have seen the biography of the author, and regarding the title and what is life, and another important things, that is the theme of this prose. And now let me start the first paragraph. Let me start the first paragraph. Clear? If you have the text, kindly turn to page number 67. Yes, paragraph number 1. More and more, as I near the end of my career as a heart surgeon, my thoughts have turned to the consideration of why people should suffer. Why people should suffer. See here, in this first paragraph, you have some bold letters, bold words. That is what you have to read for a synonyms. Yes, consideration, you know, that clear thought. Consideration means what here? That is a clear thought. Yes, the writer, the doctor has a clear thought on what? My thoughts have turned to the consideration of why people should suffer. Just underline that. Why people should suffer. Okay. What's the reason behind that? He wants to get a clear idea. He wants to get a clear thought. For what reason people are suffering. Okay. That was his thought. As a heart surgeon. Okay. As a heart surgeon, he thinks himself that what is a reason for the people suffering. He wants to get a clear idea, clear thought. That is the meaning. Suffering seems to so purely prevalent. Prevalent means what? Common. Prevalent. Prevalent means what? Yes, common. Underline the word. Prevalent means what? Common. Consideration means what? Yes, a clear thought. So, why people are suffering? And he has given another point that suffering seems to cruelly common. Yes, in all our life, including my life and your life, in everybody's life, what is a common one? Suffering is the common one. Okay. One among the 1,000 can say he is happy. Or 10% among the 1,000 can say that I am happy. But maximum of the numbers, they are saying that every day I am suffering. Every day I am suffering. Clear? This is a well-known answer from others. How are you? If you ask anybody, how are you? Like that is the simple gesture enough. to deal or to express their one's life. Yes, what is the common in all's life or everybody's life? Yes, suffering is the common one. Do you know that of the 125 million children born this year? This is very, very important strategic point. Strategic point is giving in his first paragraph itself. Clear? 125 million children born this year. How many children? 125 million per year. Okay. Then among that, 12 million are unluckily to reach the age of 1. So how many children are reaching their age up to first year? That is 12 million children. Okay. 125 million born this year. I think the day when he was giving his speech on that particular year, how many children were born? 125 children were born. This is a strategic point, kindly note it down. And 12 million are unlikely to reach the age of 1. So how many children have reached at the age of 1? 12 million. And another 6 million will die. Okay, 6 million children will die before the age of 5. Before the age of 5. Only 12 million children can reach the age of 1, first age. And 6 million children did not reach up to 5th age. They are dying. Okay. And of the rest, the remaining children, many will end up as a mental or physical cripples. Physical or mental cripples, you know very well. Challenged, physically challenged people. Okay, physically challenged people, that is what the cripples. Yes, people with some disability. Okay, so this is what a strategic point given by Dr. Bernard, Christian Bernard, in his speech. This may be this is what in a first paragraph. Okay, in the first paragraph itself, he has clearly dealt what is he going to speak. Yes, he is going to speak on what? Suffering. People suffering. And he says that what? Suffering is the common in all life. That is in human's life. And next thing, he is giving some strategic point that per year, how many children were born? 125 million children in the world. Okay, not in particular country. In the world, how many children were born? 125 children were born. Among that, 12 million children did not reach the age of 1, which means that they die. And 12 million children only can reach the age of 5. 12 million children only can reach the age of 5. And next point, what? Yes, 6 million children died or will die before they are reaching up to 5. Okay, they did not reach up to 5. And the rest of the children, they will become somewhat mental asylum or physically challenged. What a tragic strategic point he has given. Okay, this is all about he has dealt in the first paragraph. Yes, we move to the second paragraph. My gloomy thoughts probably stem from an accident I had a few years ago. See, here he says that my gloomy thoughts, yes, powerful thoughts, the thoughts which give brightness to me, the thought which gives a brightness, a sparkle thought, a sparkle idea, he has got from where? From an accident. Yes, a few years ago, he met an accident. You see the next line. 1 minute I was crossing the street with my wife after a lovely meal together. Yes, they had a meal together in a restaurant. After that, they were supposed to cross the road. While they were crossing, who? The doctor, Christian Bernard, and his wife. Okay, they were supposed to cross the street Unfortunately, within a fraction of time, okay, a car hit them. A car had hit them, and he knocked to his wife. He knocked, a car had hit him, and he dashed his wife, and his wife was thrown into the other street, other lane. Okay, a car had hit him, doctor had knocked his wife has thrown to the next place, and there another car dashed his wife. Clear? She was thrown into another lane and struck by a car coming from opposite direction. Okay, this is what the suffering he had received. Because of this bad accident, he was admitted in the hospital. He was admitted in the hospital. See the next paragraph. Do you have any doubt in the first paragraph or second paragraph? If you have any doubt, you can ask in the next class. During the next few days, this is what the third paragraph I am reading. In the second paragraph, what he says, that he says, a sparkle thought has come into his mind. When it has come after he met an accident, that is his suffering. Okay, himself and his wife were crossing the street after having a meal at a restaurant. While they were crossing the road, a car had hit the doctor, and the doctor had knocked his wife, so that his wife thrown to the next place, next street, next line, and there another car hit his wife. This is what happening in the second paragraph. He said it is a personal experience, a bitter experience. See the third paragraph. During the next few days, 1 or 2 days later, okay, in the hospital. So after that accident, he and his wife were admitted in the hospital. He speaks straightly. I experienced not only agony, a pain, extreme pain, okay, extreme pain, agony and fear, but also anger. This is what very, very important. He got pain and extreme pain in his physique, not in his heart also. That much of pain he has, and fear also he has. He has what? An extreme pain on his physique. Also he has a fear, and he has anger. On whom? The God Almighty. Okay, he has anger on the God Almighty. I could not understand why my wife and I had to suffer. See, who is he basically? Yes, he is basically a doctor. What is his duty? He is helping the people. He is saving the people's life, and moreover, he is exclusively a doctor of cardiac surgery. So that his service, which is very, very important to the life of human being, his service is expected. So in such kind of situation, if he is admitted in the hospital, he thinks about his patient. See, this is what a true doctor. This is what a true doctor. Okay, a professional doctor. Professional in the sense that who believes his profession as the God. Okay, and my wife, I had to say, he got fear and pain and anger and God, and he asked himself that why himself and his wife are suffering in their life. I had 11 broken ribs. Ribs, you know, here in this which is related to, near to the lungs. I think you may show some picture in your guide. There it's clearly given in your guide. And perforator, see, perforated means a torn and damaged with the holes. Yes, his ribs, bone, were damaged and cold near to the lung. My wife had a badly fractured shoulder. His wife's shoulder was fractured. Over and over, I asked myself, why should this happen to us? He asked himself that why it is happening. He has some pain and fear also, and in anger he is asking this question to God. Why are we suffering in their life? Why it is happening to us? I had I had work to do after all. See, everybody have their work. Everybody have their work. If anything happens unexpectedly, if it is a bad experience, what should we do? We should accept it first. We should, if we murmuring, or if we get confused on our suffering, there is nothing. Hmm? There were patients waiting for me to operate on them. See, that a beautiful doctor, okay, a truthful doctor who thinks his profession as a god, okay, and he feels for his patient. See, I am admitted in the hospital, then who will take care my patient? Why it is happening to me? My wife had a young baby who needed to care her. See, they had a baby at home, but my wife who is there, who is in this hospital, then who will be taking care of our child, and who will be taking care of my patient? See, this is what a doctor. Okay, let me stop here in this third paragraph, and from 4 to remaining paragraph tomorrow I will complete it, and tomorrow I will be having one more question in his biography, as well as from third paragraph, and also some few questions from life of pi. Okay, kindly prepare on it. If you have any doubt, you can ask in tomorrow's Google class. Okay, thank you, Ananda.